Yo, what's up guys? It's Tadell here from Tadell Game Vlogs. This is kind of a Haganai update, and people are like, are you even still on this shit? Yes, I am. Well, not mentally, I'm not still on this shit. I probably will be by the end of tonight because I'm going to record the review after this. But just a little slight update. E3, I had did the Haganai stuff before E3, and I wanted to do one more video on Haganai because when I was recording the review, it really just turned into a rant again, and then it made me go look up the light. Now, granted, I wanted to go look up the light novel the night I finished it. I think it was the night or like the day after I finished it. I went to look up the light novel stuff, and then trying to do the review, even knowing the light novel stuff, made things harder. And I had recorded the review, and I was like, I can't do this because my mindset kind of changed from my initial rant ending to how I feel about it now, which is why I also have to redo the review, because my opinion has kind of changed. And I kind of wanted to tell you guys about it and talk about some light novel spoilers for those who finished Season 2 and felt kind of how I felt. If you didn't already go look up spoilers. And granted, the spoilers I have isn't even from the entirety of the series. What it's from like, I guess you would say it's from like what Season 3 would be. It's like maybe part of that. Not even all of it, because Volume 9 and 10 are out, which are the two volumes that have not been translated into an anime yet, but they've only like translated half of Volume 9, so any spoilers I know isn't even that too deep into Season 3, if this is seen in the future and there is a Season 3. But I wanted to talk about it and give some guys some context on how I feel about Haganai now. Because E3 fucked me up and I couldn't focus on anything else. This is actually the first video I've recorded in like a week. Like that relationship video I just put up on my channel, on the main channel, the Insane Game Freak, or Terrell TIGF. That was recorded before E3, so at the very least that video is about almost 2 weeks old. So yeah, but anyways, Haganai. I still feel the same way I do about the ending, about it being bullshit. It's bullshit in the anime. And it actually is bullshit in the light novels too, because that's how the last volume of the light novel, like Volume 8 is the last volume they do into the anime, and it ends almost the same exact way except for the Maria stuff. Now, if you don't want spoilers on the light novel, you can leave, but I'll put it this way: Haganai is going in a completely different fucking direction than you think. It's actually getting relatively dark. Because the plotline with Yozora is pretty much what it's continued into the 9th volume. And the shit that happens regarding Yozora is actually really, really fucked up. And I'm going to just give you some general snippets. So the whole Yozora running away thing, we find out that Kobuto finds her and takes her back to Kodaka's house, but Kodaka doesn't find that out until he gets back home, which isn't until later. He does ask Senna to be his girlfriend, but he doesn't want to date her yet officially because she feels like it'll fuck up the club. And after the stereotypical begging, she agrees, and so they're technically dating, but not really because of the sake of the club. Rika and Kodaka are officially friends. They have a few chapters regarding that. When Kodaka gets back to the house, he tells, I believe by the time, from where I've seen up to in the light novels, he's told everyone that he and Senna are a thing. Or at the very least, I know Kobuto knows, I know Yozora knows, I know Rika knows. I think Yukimura and Maria know, but I don't think those two don't really matter too much anyway. But for the most part, we're just going to say everybody knows that he and Senna are kind of a thing, but not officially because of the club. There's a few awkward, but the Yozora shit is which I'm kind of avoiding to talk about is this. Here we go. So when he finds out that Yozora's in the house, Kobuto never told him before. He doesn't find out until in the middle of the night. He wakes up, hears noises, goes into the bathroom, and sees Yozora there with this really weird expression. You're like, you know how usually when you can't, it's a harem that has that harem feel. Granted, the harem thing's kind of dying throughout from when as we continue on, it becomes more of a drama than a harem. I'll say that much. The harem thing kind of dies off, especially with the whole Senna being girlfriend status now. He finds Yozora in the bathroom naked, but instead of that, you know, the face of, oh, you saw me naked, embarrassment, it's like a really weird, like she looks kind of zonked out. We find out what that is later, which I'll tell you. Pretty much they go through this spiel about how they're not the kids they used to be when they were friends. And so she's like, you're not the Taka I used to know. And he's like, you're not the Sora I used to know. And then he tells her about him and Senna dating, unofficially, officially thing. She says how she heard the conversation between him and Rika and knows how they're friends now. Pretty much, Yozora goes into this self-hatred shit because she badmouths the fuck out of herself. And she also talks about how she has nothing left. Pretty much, so I guess the general gist so far is that Yozora, that once that whole thing with Kodaka died, because Kodaka was just suggesting that they start over as friends and forget the shit in the past, which is pretty much embracing the mindset of Senna about the whole situation. And Yozora is the type of person who's holding on to the past. You see that throughout season 2. She has a retarded obsession with the past. So pretty much when he said, let's start over, she just said, I've lost everything. And for some reason in the light novel she gets closer to the Kobuto. I think that also has something to do with a part of the arc that was not put in the anime, but it is a part of the series. But whether that'll be adapted, I doubt, but at this point, because they've already skipped it. It happens before the whole bullshit at the end of season 2. And my Skype is going off. Yay. Anyways. Because today's my birthday, so there's probably messages about that. Anyways, getting back on topic. We have a scene in which things are kind of pseudo getting back to normal, but like Yozora is still depressed. But she finally is convinced to go back to the club, and we get one of those stereotypical scenes where they start talking about things. It gets more back into harem mode until like the ending of the conversation, because for some reason they get on the topic about who Kodaka has seen naked, which is stereotypical harem shit, and then you get a correlation back to, remember when I said, you know, Yozora had a weird expression when he saw her naked in his bathroom? Well, we figure out what the weird expression was, because obviously Senna and Yozora are trying to top each other. And Yozora says some shit, says the following. She says, well, he may have seen you naked and touch, I think Senna said something about him touching her breast or some shit. And so Yozora goes, he saw me masturbating. And then you sit there and you're like, wait a minute, what? And that's what it was. It was implied through the expression on her face, that's what she was doing, but she just comes out and fucking says it. And this is when you get her, she pretty much at this point starts bragging about how low of a person she is and how much of a piece of shit she is. About how, you know, through season 2 she plagiarized the poem, she has nothing to offer guys, she's unattractive, she masturbated in someone else's house. Just, she pretty much, she says she's like lower than shit. Like she literally says that she's low. Well, she says lower than a pile of poop, and then Maria goes, haha, poop, which is kind of a dark comedy situation right there too. But pretty much Yozora turns into, just believes that she's a piece of shit. From that point on, you get some moments where Rika and Kodaka trying to do friendship related things. Yozora's still depressed as fuck. And then we have some type of, apparently we're going full Yozora here, because we also find out that that lady from the student council near the end of season 2 is her older half-sister, which gets into the problems of Yozora and her backstory and what pretty much the next few volumes of the light novel are going to be about. The long story short is that Yozora's mother was with, Yozora was kind of like the woman he cheated on. Like pretty much the dude got with, I think her name is Hinata, ironically. Hinata's mother and him were together first, and then he got with her, then he got with Yozora's mom and had Yozora, and then divorced Yozora's mom and got back with Hinata's mom. which apparently mind fucked the shit out of Yozuru's mom, because Yozuru's mother is the reasoning why Yozuru thinks the way she does, because about how she was betrayed, and how pretty women are evil, and how pretty much every one of Yozuru's dark views in the world come from her mother tripping the fuck out because she was divorced by their father, which would explain why Yozuru acts the way she does, how for some reason she doesn't consider herself attractive, why she feels more comfortable dressing and acting and being around boys than being around girls, why she also hates Senna just from the get-go. Not just because she's a girl, she just has something against girls in general. Just a whole bunch of shit, and pretty much at the end, the last thing I remember seeing is Kotaka asking Yozuru's older sister after he hears that and hears why. She's like, the reason why I can never, befriend my sister or pretty much, reconcile with my sister is because I hate myself. Like, that's like, she straight out says it. She fucking hates herself at this point. She hates everything that she is. She has no morals anymore. She does not give a flying fuck about herself at all. At all. That is what we get, like, near the end of Volume 9, I think. And then Kotaka's like, and Kotaka asks Hinata, like, can I save your sister? Because this is fucking ridiculous. And that's what it is. That seems to be the next plot line going on in the Haganai series. Now, for all intents and purposes, I don't think the setup for this, even including the canon from the first, even including, pretending like that was the ending of Season 2, and just factoring all that shit in, I still don't think Haganai is as good as people tripped it out to be. Particularly what mind fucked the hell out of me is people who were reading the light novel translations, where I saw, like, in the comments about how, like, the scene in which she admits to masturbating in Kotaka's house, probably to Kotaka. We don't know that, but that's just an assumption, because I don't even think Yozuru is aware of her feelings yet. Like, that's apparently a thing that, Kotaka's aware of the feelings for Senna and Rika, but Yozuru herself isn't aware of her feelings for Kotaka being in love, and therefore Kotaka isn't aware of her feelings being in love. Therefore, Kotaka still doesn't know Yozuru has a thing for her, nor does Yozuru... I don't even think Yozuru's aware that she has a thing for Kotaka, actually. Which is a plot line in itself, which is pretty much what the plot line is going to be, is him saving her, giving her back a sense of self-worth, and then her being manning the fuck up and confessing her feelings. At this point, unfortunately, he's dating Senna, which, considering how Haganai is, I don't see that being like a true romance, because I don't believe any of those characters are in love. Let's be perfectly honest. Granted, I remember someone making an argument either in a video or in a comment saying none of them know what love is yet, so it's more of a thing where they may say they're in love with each other, but those are just fucking words. That's what people are telling me that's what it's about, but until I get proven that that is true, I'm going to take it at face value and believe that they think that they're actually in love with each other, which, unfortunately, Haganai does not have enough development to have any competent romance in it. If you want to give me a competent romance, the only character you could do it with is Rika. Especially because now the difference apparently with Kotaka after that whole Rika incident is he's a lot more honest about his feelings and doesn't hide anything. So he'll openly tell Rika that he's attractive, that she's attractive, and he won't bullshit anyone or try to pretend like he doesn't hear anything. Which is what he was doing near the end of the season. Well, he was doing the entire series, but he was called out on at the end of Season 2. Initially, I would have told you, I still think the anime has a really shitty ending, because even if it is canon, it's done in a way that doesn't get you hyped for it. I'll put it this way, it can get you intrigued for Season 3, but it can also piss you the fuck off, because it's not even like you're getting a resolution, you're getting a cliffhanger ending while adding in a new plot point in that cliffhanger ending. Like, we don't know, like, from the anime fan, the anime-only perspective, you literally see Kotaka about to confess. We're not seeing what he's going to say or a reaction from Senna. And then on top of that, we get another subplot about Yozuru running away. And then the anime ends. That's bullshit. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. That's a bad ending. That is a bad ending for the anime. I understand that's how it is in the light novel, and I understand that the light novel didn't have enough material to do. But I'd rather them done an anime only ending, or as other people suggested, end it before he goes and confesses. Like, end it where they're like friends. I mean, honestly, you couldn't even do that, to be perfectly honest, because I'd probably still be mad at that ending regardless. But that is a better ending than adding in the subplot about Yozora leaving. Like, the problem is they spent half of that last episode just doing student council shit, which doesn't even really become relevant until like until like season 3 related shit. Like, it's irrelevant right now because there is some events in regard to Yukimura that are triggered by something that happens at the end of the season 2 when Yukimura helps I forget the student council member name, the little girl that was trying to get the club shut down. That evolves into an actual friendship between those two. But my problem is that from the anime's perspective, you gave us an ending in which you're trying to set up for a season 3 that we don't know is going to even happen. And granted, this may even be irrelevant by the time season 3 comes out, but for right now, in the in-between period of when season 2 ended in Japan and when it fucking starts airing, or confirmed at this point in Japan, we're in this in-between state in which the anime has a really shitty ending. The anime still has a shitty ending, but my opinion of the series in general is now I'm kind of in between. It's one of those things where I'm now curious to see where it goes, even though I don't think it was handled in the best of ways, even from the light novel standards, because I don't feel like it wasn't set up well enough, in my opinion. Also, yeah, that's what it is. It has really shitty setup. I think Haganai has really weird / bad pacing and really shitty setups, to the point in which it's like it's hard for me to buy that sent us into Kotaka and it be a legit romance. I have no reason why I don't understand why Kotaka's into Senna, nor do I understand his slight attraction to Yozora. His attraction to Rika kind of doesn't make any sense either, considering she hadn't really started showing redeeming qualities. Well, no, that's a lie. She started showing... Okay, Rika's is kind of the most believable, and he says he was starting to develop feelings for Yukimura. He admits that. I don't know what the fuck that was based on. Was that based on him being a blind fangirl? I don't fucking know. I still don't think Haganai is well constructed, but unfortunately I'm now in the position where I'm more interested. It's kind of like Medaka Box. I think I wrote that on Facebook. I view this as Medaka Box, meaning it aggravated the shit out of me, but I still want to keep watching it, which in a sense you could argue is a guilty pleasure in itself. By the way, I still need to review season 2, ironically. But that's my thoughts on Haganai currently. I don't hate it. I think it has really shitty pacing / setups. And it has no basis behind its romance at all. It has really cliched basic bases, but doesn't follow up on most of them. So it's kind of hard for me to take that seriously, or to take it as... It's one of those things where, like, Haganai is fine. Like, I don't really pay attention to the whole seriousness of the romance when I know it's just a cliched-ass harem. But with this drama shit they're adding in with Yozora, it makes me relook at the thing as a serious series. And when you do that, you realize how fucking hollow the fucking series is. But that's just me. So that's my current thoughts on Haganai. I will probably have the review up within this week. I'm not sure, but I just wanted to put this update for those who are curious about my current thoughts on Haganai, or didn't know that I had now went to go look at the light novels. So yeah, and now you guys know. So look forward to the season 3 and the darkness that will be consumed in there. Because I wonder if they're going to try to play that off for jokes. They might, because they tried to do it in the light novel and it looked awkward as fuck in the light novel. Like, especially because apparently in the scene where when Yozora's admitting that she masturbated in Kotaka's house, she's about to cry. Like the scene is written out as if she gets closer and closer to crying the more she goes on. So by the time she finishes it, she's like busted out into tears. There's no way in hell you're going to make that look serious without it coming off awkward. And I hope people don't find that funny like they did in the comments when people were reading that chapter of the light novel. Because you guys, I don't know why the fuck that's funny. That's disturbing. The bitch literally just fucking admitted to masturbating in one of her friend's houses well, not really friend, but her club members' houses, and then tried to brag about it like an asshole, while also calling, referring to the fact that how much of a piece of shit she is. That is not funny. That is not comical, and that's not like a cool Yozuru moment. That's a disturbing, sad, and creepy Yozuru moment. Then again, she has a lot of those in season 2. But that's just my thoughts and opinions. By the way, apparently Haganai does not like Yozuru at all. Granted, no one likes Yozuru because of how much of a bitch she is and how much it justifies her being a bitch. But I'm like, dude, like, they gave Yozuru no redeeming. Yozuru literally has no redeeming qualities, like, at all right now. The only thing now is I feel bad for her because she just thinks she's a piece of shit. Also, I think that's the reason why I'm intrigued for the later seasons, because Yozuru reminds me of me in a sense that she has that low self-confidence, no sense of self-worth. It's not as ridiculous as that, but it is relatable. But yeah, that's my thoughts. So, lost game from your boy Terrell, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.